Hey, happy Homebrew Wednesday. I'm coming at you from my son's game room. And the reason I'm coming at you from my son's game room is because the Dean's List Home Brewery, unfortunately, also doubles as a laundry room in one corner. And right now it's the spin cycle. So I figured I'd try to go somewhere quiet. And although this place is completely freaking torn up because my son had a buddy over here this weekend, and they just went freaking nuts on this room. I mean, there is crap everywhere. As F It Let's Brew would say, those little effers went nuts. There's broken glass, there's some like lamp that got knocked over, and crap everywhere. So he is going to be doing some cleanup later on. Anyway, I wanted to take this time, since Thanksgiving is rapidly approaching, but I wanted to take this episode to sit back, do some talk about what I'm thankful for, and do some shout outs, because I have a lot of shout outs to do, and I wanted to make sure I got them out there. So first of all, Old School Double IPA. I got my review yesterday from Under the Table Brewing, and so now I've got two really good reviews on that beer, one from Josh Secor and one from Under the Table. So I guess I'm going to have to keep that in Beersmith. I do want to rebrew that one because I really enjoyed Old School Double IPA. Thank you so much, guys, for the review. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you liked it. And after both reviews, subscriber count went nuts. So I'm getting close to 100 subscribers. Very, very exciting. I'm very excited about that. So it's just fun. Thank you so much, guys. And Under the Table, I really appreciated the review. I was on Cloud 9 yesterday when that got posted, and I had a great day today. I shared it with my office mates because they're kind of tracking my brewing career, and they were all pretty fired up about it too. So you asked a lot of questions in your review about, how long had the bottle been sitting there? Did I bottle condition or did I keg condition? What kind of bittering did I do? I sent a note back and I got some of the specifics, but essentially the Columbus I only put in at a really, really late addition, like 5 minutes towards the end, 5 minutes left in the boil. And I only did that to try to get some of that spicy aromatic qualities that the Columbus has. At least that's what I read. And I guess it worked out. The Simcoe and Citra, that's kind of, I tried to think about like Dogfish Head, how they do, I did one of their brewery tours, and they talked about how he used to use the vibration hockey game. He actually used that for his first continuous hops. He had this, those little hockey, remember the old 1970s hockey games where they had little players and they would vibrate and they would like move around? Well, somehow he put holes in that, and it was vibrating, and the hops would drop in, so continuously over the boil. Same kind of mindset. I dropped in really, really small doses of Citra and Simcoe over pretty much the whole boil, and I guess it worked out pretty well. You guys really liked it. I really like the beer because I like double IPAs that have a good caramel backbone. The next beer, Grade Point Ale. That's the IPA that I brewed about 3 weeks ago. I dry hopped that for about 5 days with Simcoe, and I tapped it, I guess, over the weekend, and that beer is doing great. It's not, well, first of all, I did the gelatin because I haven't been getting as good clarity as I wanted to lately, but I went back to using gelatin, and it looks fantastic. It's a really, really clear beer. Even though I used 2 pounds of flaked oats, it's a really, really clear beer. It's got beautiful color. If I could critique it any, I would only say that I wished it would be a little sweeter. I used about, a half a pound of honey malt. I think I might try using 1.5 pounds of honey malt when I rebrew it. I was very happy with the Old School Double IPA because it got right about where I wanted, but for the Grade Point Ale, it's not quite where I want it to be, so I'm going to work on that one. America Nut Brown, that who I think Secor gave me some crap because I used British Ale on it. And some other guy from the UK said, I thought that America, M-E-R-I-C-A, was a snail or a mollusk or something. So I looked it up, and certainly, sure enough, it's a arthropod mollusk. So I'm going to have to think about that, or at least change the names. But I checked the gravity on that. It only got down to 1013. But looking at the starting gravity, that puts it around, I guess, 5.6%. That's exactly where I wanted it. So I think the fermentation has run its course. I'm going to put that in cold crash over the Thanksgiving holiday, come back, carb it up, and then it. I was reading S.J. Poor, sent out he did a little Facebook like, and there was a American Homebrew Association article on beers that go with Thanksgiving foods, and I guess American nut browns go really, really well with turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes and all that. IPAs don't, believe it or not. I guess that makes sense. But I wish I would have brewed my American Nut Brown Ale about a week earlier, then I would have had some nut brown to go with Thanksgiving dinner. But anyway, that's the plans. That's the plans for America. Now, what I want to do real quick is do some shout outs. I've written them down here. Not tried to be that video cutaway that F It Let's Brew It did on his last one of Sally Field. That was funny. That was funny as hell. All your videos are funny as hell, but I'm gonna give you a shout out in a minute. Anyway, shout outs. Under the Table Brewing. You guys are like my heroes for the week. You gave me a really glowing review. Made my day today. I'm always kind of fired up at work. Today I was like a cat on acid. It was great. I really appreciate that. I watched y'all's review on the Metro. Actually, I watched it last night, and then I got on the Metro this morning, and there was all kinds of subscribe. So that was really, really cool. So I enjoyed that. That was an awesome review. I think I answered all your questions that you had on the brew itself. I'm not sure what caused the gunk in the bottle. I know Josh Secor commented on the same thing because I sent him the same beer. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't bottle condition it. I keg conditioned it. I don't know. I'd be curious to know, was it some kind of protein gunk that built up over time, or I'd be interested to know if you guys have any ideas. Shoot them in the comments. What you think may have caused that. I would appreciate it. Next shout out goes to F It Let's Brew It, and I gave you a shout out last week. He went a step further and put our URLs in the bottom, so I'm going to try to figure that out and do that for this video. But I just want to say it's very clear that you're very self-deprecating, which makes your videos kind of funny. Actually, very funny, very freaking funny. But I know better. I've seen you do things in some beer exchanges you did with Under the Table and Josh Secor, where you made beer caviar, and apparently you have some mad technical skills in your civilian occupation that allow you to do that. So I know last week you said that you don't really make a habit. Excuse me. It's a double IPA from, not really sure where this was from. Anyway, I know you don't make a habit of doing brew videos because I think you basically said, unless you want to proof that I didn't, do some kind of bodily fluid activity in your beer, there's no reason to do it. But I think that folks would really enjoy your brewing videos because you do some very, I would call, extreme brewing. Some of the things you're doing some chemistry type stuff, and it's fascinating. I hear about it, I see the results. It would be really cool, or maybe it's a trade secret and you don't want to do it, but I would really like to see you at least on one brew day doing one of these extreme brews to see how you do some of this stuff. So hopefully you do one. I understand your philosophy and everything, but it'd be kind of cool to see you do a brew video. If you think I'm right, hit in the comments below. Let's get Dan to post some brew days. But anyway, thanks again for the shout outs. And I certainly am going to watch all your videos and look forward to the ride. Frank from I think it's Frank Sure Brewing. This guy Frank, and I'll put his URL in the bottom. He's I guess he's Scottish, and he saw a comment that I made on one of my videos, or maybe I did a comment on one of his videos. He did a bar build, and I was interested how he did the box on the top on a Keyser, where he had like 3 taps. I think he had 3 taps, and so this guy goes and dedicates a whole video to showing me how he built his bar build. That was the coolest thing. I mean, it was absolutely the coolest thing. I'll try to put a link to that in here so you can see what he did, but really, really phenomenal. And not only that, he said, hey, if you got any more questions, after he did this long video where he showed me how he used Hoover hose to run the beer lines up to the tap box. Then he had a return line and how he used the electrical fan and everything to do the circulation of the refrigeration. He talked his opinion about what kind of wood you should use, and I mean, just really, really, I mean, awesome first class video he did, and I really, really appreciate that. After all that, my wife might not even let me build one of those. She might force me to buy a commercial option, but dude, that was so nice of you to do that, and I really, really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to sending you some beer. So I'll have to start working on that after the holidays. So anyway, check out Frank. I got his URL in the bottom here. I'll put it in there. Check his site out. He's the man. And when he does his brews, he does one of those suspended like bags and rinse and grain over the bags kind of deal, which I find fascinating. So anyway, he's got a great channel. Awesome guy. He looks kind of like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. I don't know why I say that, but something about him. He looks like the Tin Man. So sorry about that, Frank. But anyway, Josh Hoover. I met Josh Hoover in Philadelphia for the Homebrew Wednesday homecoming, and he was just, what a delightful guy. Guy is really, really nice. I met his fiancée, and the thing I like about Josh is he's as passionate about, at least when I watch his videos and I watch him talk about brewing beer, and I saw his enthusiasm when we were down in Philadelphia, it reminded me of how I feel about brewing beer. And this hobby is just freaking crazy. Josh is just a genuinely really nice guy. Loves him some Stone Brewery. Yeah, I think he lives out there on the West Coast. He likes the West Coast style IPAs, pushing the limits. But really, really nice guy. Really loves brewing beer. His fiance gets mad if he brews beer without him being there because she likes the smell of the grain and all that. Anyway, awesome guy. Check his video out. I'll put that in there. Anyway, Steve Molson. I do shout outs to him all the time just because he's such a great guy. I love his videos. He has the is it Plot 42? I mean, he does a lot of rhubarb. He really loves him some rhubarb beer. He does a lot of videos on rhubarb. But he's got, I mean, just the biggest damn vegetables growing back there in that plot. That he watches all your videos, does comments, puts his 2 cents in. Just really, really great guy. So check out his channel. And then lastly, Barry the Brewed Palate. Barry is, I don't know, Barry's like he's like the scooper, I guess I would call him. When I say scooper, I mean he's like an MB, or he's like a primetime network newscast when it comes to homebrew. He gets interviews with folks like John Palmer, who's the head brewer of Brooklyn Brewery. I think he's been on that guy's show before. He is involved in homebrewing, and I hear he makes some pretty good beers. I haven't tasted one, but look forward to, I'm sure we'll trade some beers in the future. Awesome guy. He's got an awesome channel. I love watching his videos. I missed him at Homebrew Wednesday Homecoming. That's my one regret from Homebrew Wednesday Homecoming, but I am sure we will meet up somewhere down the road. So anyway, I will put your URL there at the bottom too. As far as Thanksgiving, I have a lot to be thankful for. Met a lot of good friends here. I have the best hobby in the world in homebrewing. Anyway, listen, have a great, happy Thanksgiving and happy Homebrew Wednesday.